Yeah. Yeah.
What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. We're going to discuss AEW Dynamite Beach Break from May the 14th, 2025. A very boring show for the most part. Thankfully, the Hurt Syndicate was able to save a small aspect of the show, but not too much. And what can you do? It's AEW, so whatever. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Will Ospreay and Adam Page, they defeat Josh Alexander and Tanosuke Takeshita via the Hidden Blade Buckshot Lariat combo for the 1, 2, 3. And then post-match, both guys stared each other down, that being Hangman and Will Ospreay. So, it's fine there. So, whatever. Do I care about this? No, not really. I still think that Will Ospreay is going to end up being the one to win the Owen. And I'm pretty sure MJF is probably going to get involved to take out Hangman to continue their feud. Moving on. So, Top Flight, they're pissed off backstage. They talk about MJF, about how he attacked them last week. And then they turn their attention to the Hurt Syndicate. So Dustin Rhodes gives them props for standing up for themselves, as he and Sammy Guevara say that they'll be watching. Sammy Guevara still in AEW. Why? I got a feeling in due time Sammy Guevara is going to end up getting released. I think his contract is up sometime this year. So I do not want him to go to WWE or TNA. I think he would be better off in like an MLW or something like that. That's what I think he should be. So, whatever. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Moving on. So, this leads us into Ricochet defeating Zach Gowen. Yes, Zach Gowen from WWE all those years ago. He was from 03. So, I remember him. At that time, I was in middle school at the time, so yeah. But the match itself was pretty okay, thanks to Ricochet. He healed it up, and then he ended up winning via the Spirit Bomb. So that was, my bad, the Spirit Breaker, my bad. Sorry about that. No, my bad, the Spirit Gun. I'm sorry about that, the Spirit Gun. So whatever. Cool match there, and then post-match, Ricochet was going to hit another Spirit Gun on Zach Gowen. And Mark Briscoe, he made the save. This is fine, but do I really care about this at the end of the day? No, I don't. I have completely given up on Mark Briscoe at this point. I know some people still think that he has it, but I've totally given up on Mark Briscoe. Totally have. So what's done is done. He's just there to be there, like so many other guys and girls on this roster. They are just there just to be there. They're there for a paycheck. And I like Mark Briscoe. I really do. But, nah. Moving on. So, MJF is backstage. He awaits Bobby Lashley's answer. He talks about how important it is for the Hurt Syndicate to do business with him. So MVP cuts him off, and then he invites MJF into the ring after the tag champs have their match. So the Hurt Syndicate, they end up defeating Top Flight, who got in a little bit of offense. I think the match lasted about maybe 7-8 minutes. It really should have been about 3 to 5 minutes. But what's done is done. Top Flight looked okay in here. They got a couple of offensive moves in, but it is what it is. But ultimately, they ended up succumbing to the Hurt Lock. And Lashley had that shit cinched in tight. And Dante went to sleep. He was out cold. And Lashley just held on the Hurt Lock until Dustin Rhodes showed up. He told him to stop it. So Dustin Rhodes then runs them down before issuing a challenge for the titles. Then Crew, they show up, which is Action Andretti and Leo Rush. So they actually want to be the ones to bash the Hurt business. The Hurt Syndicate. So Leo Rush, he has a quick little conversation with Bobby Lashley, saying how they go way back. It's like, bro, that was about 7 years ago. That was about 7 years ago. That was like 2018, 2019 when Bobby Lashley first got back to WWE for his second run. So, yeah. The interaction was all right. So MVP, he got tired of them bickering back and forth. He didn't care about it. He told them face each other on Collision, and the winner of that will face them at Double or Nothing. All right, cool. Does it really matter? Hell no. But I do see Sammy Guevara basically kind of being done with AEW. I don't think that Tony Khan will probably re-sign him at all. And I think it's best if Sammy Guevara just goes to MLW. I really do. I do not want him in TNA. I damn sure don't want him in NXT. Stinking up the joint. Hell no. Screw that. Hell fucking no. Nah. No sir. No sir. No sir. No sir. So the Hurt Syndicate, they want MJF to come out. MJF's music hits, and then Shelton Benjamin, he goes to the back to see where MJF is, and he's in gorilla position. So basically, MJF said he was about to pitch to them as he brought out to ringside. He's like, Shelton, I've been looking all over for you, which is kind of funny. So he gets in the ring, that being MJF. MVP tells MJF it's his day of reckoning. These gentlemen have had their discussions and knows what's coming. So MVP gives his thumbs up. Shelton Benjamin does the same thing. And Lashley, he walks over to MJF with a smile and a hug. And he's toying with the thumbs up, thumbs down. Shelton Benjamin is in the back about to basically super kick MJF's head off of his damn shoulders. And then Bobby Lashley gives MJF a thumbs up. So MJF pops, the crowd pops. He leads a "We Hurt People" chant, which was great. And then MVP announces that next week they'll have MJF officially sign into the Hurt Syndicate. And MJF then opens up the ropes for his new crewmates. So that's pretty cool. This makes perfect sense. I do like this. But could this all be a ruse? Could we see Cedric Alexander show up next week and maybe beat down MJF? We don't know yet. But I do like this. This is very, very interesting. I'm down for it. Do I think the Hurt Syndicate, do they turn on MJF? Probably more than likely. But we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. But finally, they ended up advancing the story after about 4 weeks of this. This is great. Makes perfect sense, and I'm here for it. If they don't do anything about it next week, then maybe they do the angle at Double or Nothing. So maybe we see Cedric at Double or Nothing because next week is the go home show. But I really was thinking that Cedric was going to show up this week and, put a stop to it. But that did not happen. Moving right along. So Sky Blue is back. And this leads us into the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Sky Blue, who's been out for like a year. She's been injured, apparently. She got a pretty good reaction. And Azium, who cares? Mina being back is great. Mina coming into AEW is good. That makes sense. Apparently she's supposed to be getting a big push. So she wins the match. She ends up pinning Toni Storm via the small package. So she's going to face Toni Storm at Double or Nothing, which is fine there. AZM, that's her name, Azium. She ended up beating Mercedes over the weekend. She won a triple threat match, so Mercedes didn't even get pinned. And you know how Mercedes doesn't put nobody over, and she's not going to. So It seems like they are going to probably end up having her drop all of her titles except for the TBS championship. And maybe going into All In, maybe they are going to do a title for title, winner take all, basically. And that's when she ends up winning the AEW Women's Championship. I know people are mad that Tony's not bringing in any new women. He actually is. He's just bringing in women from Stardom. And, to me, that's fine there. So, whatever. But it is what it is. The match was okay, I guess. Do I really care about it? No, I don't. But I have a feeling that Mina is just basically being brought in to be fed to Mercedes. And we know she's not going to win at Double or Nothing against Toni Storm. That's not happening. So when she loses to Toni Storm, inevitably, which she will, where the hell does she go from there? Like, what's her next step after that? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Moving right along. So we then get a really good Sabu vignette from Taz. So Taz, he gives his thoughts on his late rival. So that was great. Taz took off his sunglasses. He really put over Sabu heavy, which was great. We all know that Taz and Sabu, they did have heat years and years ago. I'm pretty sure that's probably been amends long before Sabu passed away. But this was good. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was great. I assume that Taz will be at the funeral of Sabu, so he more than likely will be there, and it makes perfect sense. Not just Taz, but I think that all the ECW crew will be there, from Rob Van Dam, Tommy Dreamer, definitely Paul Heyman. So I'm pretty sure Sabu will have a packed funeral. Again, rest in peace, rest in power, rest in paradise, Sabu. You will be missed. Rest easy. Moving on. So MJF, he's talking to MVP backstage. He says he needs to talk to his lawyer, and the goofball Mark Sterling, he's still there. Mark Sterling's been around for about 4 years. I thought that Mark Sterling got quietly released. We haven't seen him since Jade Cargill was in AEW, and she's been in WWE for about a good, close to a year now. So we haven't seen him in about a good year and a half, but it doesn't matter. So MVP asked about the presence of the lawyer, but Maxwell Jacob Friedman insists that it's just a business matter, as no one will want to sign a contract without legal representation. MVP then agrees, and then they shake hands. So again, I do like this. There's already dissension within the group, which makes perfect sense, which makes me believe that MJF probably will get double-crossed before he double-crosses the Hurt Syndicate. So hopefully Cedric either shows up at the Go Home show or at Double or Nothing. Either way, I'm down for this shit. So let's go. Moving on. So we get some Nigel McGuinness, Daniel Garcia nonsense. Who cares about any of this? I don't care about this shit. It's all collision fodder. Fuck this shit. Moving right along. This leads us into the main event of the evening. Jon Moxley defeats Samoa Joe. He survives the steel cage. So towards the end of the match, Joe locked Moxley in the Coquina clutch. Then that's when the run-in started taking place. So Claudio showed up. Wheeler Yuta showed up. Willow showed up. She got involved. She threw Claudio off the top of the cage. I'm like, what the hell? Claudio's like 6'6". No, he's like 6'4", probably 240, between 240 and 250. I'm like, what the hell? Willow at best has to be probably like 150, 160, even though she's thick. She's got to be at best 160. Come on, man. What the hell? Only in AEW. So Will Hobbs shows up. He puts Willie Yuta through a table, which was awesome. Got a pretty good little pop. And then Mike Bailey showed up. He brawled. Gabe Kidd was the one who attacked Samoa Joe with the briefcase. That's how Moxley was able to win the match and retain. Then there's a bunch of more runners that came out. Kenny Omega showed up after the Young Bucks showed up. And then Swerve, he showed up and basically he booked a Anarchy in the Arena match, and that was the show. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. I really don't. This doesn't make any sense. I'm over the concept of Anarchy in the Arena. I'm over Blood and Guts. I'm over War Games. I'm over all this shit. It doesn't make any sense. You don't need this shit every single year. You just don't need it. But whatever. It's AEW. Who gives a damn? I don't even know what to say. So who really cares? It's not that important. Whatever. Not a good show as per usual. The only thing that was worth a damn was the MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate. That was great. Everything else on the show was just a waste of time. But that's AEW in a nutshell. But what did you guys think of Dynamite? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.